Hi friends, so on this episode we're going to be extending our talk last time about trying to bridge the gap between the prophecies, the diagnosis and the symptoms. Obviously many of us have in times gone by sat down, prayed with, glossed over a word that would have actually meant more to us if we were able to replace the diagnosis with the symptoms that we are struggling with. So clearly my role in this whole scenario is to present the symptoms in layman's terms so that when these words come out, as we've had this week already, you'll be able to match them to your own situation and perhaps pick on your word and try to put your faith to action.
I don't know who you are. I hear cordial carcinoma. Cordial carcinoma. Let it be reversed. Let it be reversed.
Today we had someone who was healed from choriocarcinoma. Now, choriocarcinoma is the normal usually means a cancer, so it's usually the lungs or, forgive my sensitivity here, the vagina. So clearly people who have this, if it's with the lower bits, the vagina, you would have stuff like vaginal bleeding, heavy bleed, prolonged and irregular bleeds, and then you could have something with abnormal tissue discharge as well. If it's on the chest, on the lungs, you probably have chest pain, breathing issues and dizziness. So these are things that if you're struggling with already, you should, if you haven't, see a doctor, get yourself looked at, have some tests done, and where your faith is believing for a miracle and you hear these pronouncements, pick on them. Those words are for you. So do not sweep your symptoms under the carpet, I would say.
Chondrosarcoma. Chondrosarcoma. Let it be reversed. Let it be reversed.
Now, the second other bit which we'll quickly address is a chondrosarcoma. Now, chondrosarcoma, again, sarcoma cancer, we're talking here, it's usually cancer of the bones and the soft tissue. Now, with the bones, you would have some stiffness, some swelling, and some tenderness around the area where this cancer is. And they do grow, which is troubling. Now, you would have an increasing or worsening pain with time with chondrosarcoma, and you find that you get easily tired. You find that you have easy to break bones, quite fragile bones, and in cases where they are starting to press on the spine or on the bladder, you would have also urinary incontinence. Now, people who suffer from this are advised to get what we call a biopsy done. A small tissue of your bone is taken and sent to the lab. And if you've listened to the program this week and you heard the chondrosarcoma word out there, it is you. You just needed to know that this is what you're suffering from. And it could be other things. That's why the test is important. But do use your faith as it leads you. Now, the other one, which is an extensive topic, is diabetic neuropathy. Now, diabetic neuropathies are usually people who've got diabetes, a complication of diabetes as it were. And diabetes means excessive sugar in your blood already. So if you've got poorly controlled diabetes, or you're diabetic and you don't know it, but you're getting numbness, some feeling of altered sensation on your hands and on your feet, you're getting the troubling erectile dysfunction. Now, this is not your village people trying to make a stake on you. It could be that your blood sugar has gone wayward and you need some control and put on it. You could have poor coordination when walking, sensitivity to touch, excessive sweating, some very neurodynamic symptoms. And hear me now, you do need to have your blood sugar controlled. You also need to catch on. If that word came out and you were believing God for a miracle, that's your word as well. So hold on to that, get your blood tested, get your blood sugar better controlled, and you'll find that these things work together. Faith without action is always dead. So put your faith to work. And if you've enjoyed this episode, there are a few other things that we're going to be talking about in the week. If you enjoyed this video, then sure, I advise you to please subscribe, like, share like your life depends on it. Let people who are also listening in also see that they can actually benefit more if they knew their diseases and if they knew what diagnosis actually might be relevant to them. So please do share, like, subscribe, comment. Are there any other diagnoses that you are afraid might mean more to you than it actually looked? Get in touch, leave a comment on the comment area, and we'll be discussing this extensively in the coming episodes. My name is Dr. Oji Obiora. I'm the GP with a special interest in YouTube, and we're doing this in the long term. Bye.